What's up, fellas and ladies? Let's get fired up. We're knocking around the zoo on a Thursday afternoon in the Barstool Chicago office. And it's honestly a super treat because we got Jack Mack in the house. And it's his first time to the Chicago office this week. I admit it. I'm one of the biggest – I'm one of the top Jack Mack fans in this company. Have been for a long time. Love all the content. Love the TikTok. Watch Unpack with Jack Mack every single night. Every night, literally. It's how I get my news every day. And he's in town for UFC this week.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I've been on Wake Up Mintzy before, but virtually.
Yeah.
But it's awesome to be here in person.
American history.
It's awesome to be here in Chicago. It's awesome to see the office. Here's the thing. Everybody that was here, I've known for a long time. Obviously, I haven't met some of the people, but I love everybody here. And it's great to see them. The vibes are great. Great to see Brandon. Great to see T-Bob. Great to see Big Cat, KB, Danny, Titus, Kate, Megan. You name it. It keeps going. And yourself. But the nice thing is I got to see you in Vegas.
Yeah. We had to kick it. You were out there for UFC. We went to dinner, me, you, and Ev.
Yeah, that was an awesome dinner, so it was great to see you. But obviously great to see you here. And I'm honored to be on Wake Up Mintzy, presented by Dude Wipes. And
Stella Blue.
And Stella Blue. And this office is amazing. Chicago's great. And Saturday will be a great UFC pay-per-view card, I hope. It's a huge fight. Probably, I would argue, the biggest fight of the year so far. And I can't wait to see how it all goes down. And I always appreciate the support from you. And
yeah, I retweet. I try to retweet Unpack, too, just to get it out more.
And we've been friends since you walked in the door. It's been awesome to see your rise at Barstool.
The roller coaster. It's been. I've had a good year though. This has been. Knock on wood. This has been for about.
But I love the roller coaster, and I know you have.
Got to live on the edge.
And I got to say, you're one of the most supportive guys out there. You help everybody. You pat everybody on the back, and that's something that I do not take for granted. And so I'm honored to be here. And shout out all the Wake Up Mintzy heads.
The millions and millions.
The millions and millions. And excited to talk whatever. I think we talked the morning before, maybe the morning after UConn won its first title with Dan Hurley. Then they won it again. And then obviously last year they lost to Florida. But yeah, I have a great history with Wake Up Mintzy.
There you go. I'm waiting. Moody's going to pop in too because I want to get Moody on. When he gets on here, I'm going to ask some UFC for both of y'all because y'all are both diehards. I want to get into some stuff. So first, I want to mention, like I said, the Unpack with Jack Mack thing. Where did the idea come from that? Because literally, you could see, I watch it when I'm going to bed at night and I'm scrolling my phone. I watch it as I lay down to go to bed, and I love the format. It's 3 minutes. You get all the world's news in the 3-minute clip. How'd you get that idea to start that?
I guess I just was thinking, okay, how can I've always for the past almost a decade, I've been kind of involved in the political world in terms of staying on top of news. And I was like, how can I kind of put it out there in a way that's condensed? It's obviously shouldn't be a one-stop shop. It should be a place that people go and maybe you watch it at night. I would also recommend people watching other stuff. But these are things and also, I'm not going to talk about the little minute political details, but I like to talk about what's going on specifically in D.C., throughout the world, stuff that I find a little bit funny, amusing. And then also there's some things that are pretty serious, of course. It's politics. So that's where the idea came from, and continuing to build it. It's something that there's a lot of news with Trump out there. And
yeah, it's a goldmine. It's a goldmine content presidency.
And so, yeah, that's been the idea, and it's pretty easy to do, and we'll see if it continues to work. If not, we'll try something else. It's one of those things, and the nice thing about Barstool is it's all on you, and you kind of just pull yourself up by the bootstraps and say, oh, let's just do this, and then we do that, and we'll continue to do that, and see how it goes. I like doing it.
I feel like it's doing good.
Yeah, no, it's doing good.
It's consistently.
And the nice thing is it's pretty easy for me to do. It takes time, but it's not, I can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
Because the only thing, while I'm in Chicago, it's kind of tough because I'm not in front of the computer. And there's not as, that's where I see everything.
And you add it on your computer too.
And then also I'll see stuff on my phone. I'll be on Twitter more. And I haven't been on as much this week because We've been doing stuff with the UFC, been doing stuff here, but been traveling. But still, it's easy to do anywhere, and we're gonna continue to do it, and we'll see. I think there's some nice opportunities out there, and yeah, it's a wild place out there, and I think politics has changed a lot. That it's a lot more common people like to talk about it than maybe in the past a little bit.
Oh, I definitely agree. Some Barstool stuff I want to touch on. Barstool Beach House. The clips are rolling again.
Yeah.
They're back. I mean, what a first weekend. Ella Griff on here yesterday. Loved getting to catch up with her. Man, what are we thinking for the second weekend? This thing could go anywhere.
Yeah, my biggest question for week 2 is, will they continue to, or will they be gun shy, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, because now that it's marinated for a week, everybody's analyzed everything.
And they're like, oh, I have to be safer about what I say, what I drink. And I'm not suggesting these guys were getting like completely blackout drunk, but they see the effect and they see how big it is. Or is there a lot like less chance of a fight, or a less chance of two heads butting? I think not, but that is something I've considered. It's kind of like the best reality shows are the ones when they think no one's watching.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it felt like last weekend.
Yes. And then,
especially for Kate Canelo.
Now it feels like all the eyes are on it. Let's see how it goes. But here's the thing. I think the number one guy that is kind of like the nucleus of the show will continue to go hard, and that's Nikki Smith.
No doubt.
And
I mean,
then,
the whole thing came out of the Walker funeral.
Yeah, and then you have the Ellas, the Kadicks, the Tommy Smokes, who continue to do their thing, which are great characters on the show. But you need the drama, and I think Nikki's going to bring it. And I think there's possibilities of, it's a lot of people that are all on top of each other, all drinking, all maybe deep down may not like each other. And that's where gold comes from in reality TV. And we'll see how it goes. You just don't know how it's going to go. But I think so far it's been a massive success. And I'm really excited to see how it goes this weekend.
Yeah, and Pup Punk playing Friday night on the shore, and they're all going to that. I can't wait to see who crowd surfs and like that portal.
And they're staying Sunday for Sunday Fun Day, because then they're going to Barstool or Camp Barstool the next day. So there's a lot of possibilities this weekend. Sunday they'll be tired, they'll be hungover, but that may be when the fights happen. So we'll see how it goes. And Rowan adds a fascinating dynamic.
Pours gas on the fire.
Pouring gas on the fire after the weekend. And I think I'm very excited. I can't wait to see how it all goes this weekend. The clips will be great. I have the utmost trust in our social team being on top of everything and posting it. And it's a new concept of reality show, and I think it's working.
Oh, I think it was huge. I mean, there was over 1 million impressions on Twitter last weekend alone.
Yeah. Amazing stuff. And I'm excited. I think that's the number one thing. And I'm really interested to see if anybody will be gun shy, because they don't want to get kind of like in the drama, but I hope they aren't, and I don't think they will.
When Dave sent out the email asking for people to volunteer, did you say yes?
No.
I said I did say yes, but I was like, if he picks me, this is going to be so awkward because I don't drink and I'm old, but I was trying to be the company man.
No.
Like they always tell you never to say no to anything here, you know?
I was
really hoping
somebody asked me to be on it, I would go in full 100%. But I don't think I would be great on it.
I don't think I would be.
I don't drink that much. I don't think I would be like, it's not my quote unquote scene. I thought I would be amazing at what I'm doing now, or not amazing, sorry, better at what I'm doing now, which is kind of just staying on top of it, posting about it on TikTok, giving some more eyeballs to it.
Absolutely.
And then talking about it. I like that aspect, but I think I'm not a reality TV star. I mean, if they asked me to do it, I would have given 100% effort, but I don't know if I was the best, and I think they picked an amazing cast, and I think I didn't even respond. But if they did ask, I would have said yeah. I would have been like 100%. Also, August is always a time I spend a lot of time with my family.
Once football hits,
and then
Labor Day starts, and then it's Thanksgiving. It's like it's 2.5 months, it's 3 months, and it feels like it's 2 weeks.
And I love spending time with my family in August, but obviously, if they called and they were like, "Hey, Jack, can you do this?" I would have said yeah, but I think I was not needed in any sense of the word, and it's going great.
Yeah, Well, let's hop right into. I want to talk the football, and then I'll ask about UFC.
Awesome.
All right, college football season. I love following your game. You do a great job with the gambling picks. I love how one of my favorite things is how you track all your units. And
Yeah.
very transparent. I'm going to do that this year too because I got lazy about it last year. But I love the transparency. When it's good, you own it. When it's bad, you're just
Exactly.
when you're usually good at UFC, but you've had a bad last couple of weeks.
Yes.
You're just
exactly.
I'm getting my teeth kicked in.
Yeah, and I've always tried to be transparent, and I think there's also a little bit of a it's good to be that so people know. Where it's I never want to pretend something that I'm not. I've never been that, but from I just want to be transparent, and I track it third party for UFC, MMA, and sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. But I'm gonna still put my best foot forward, and then if I win, I'll talk about it. If I lose, I'll talk about it. But I think it's good for the people, just so they don't think they're I don't think 99.9% of the people would never think that, but I don't want someone to be like, oh, this guy knows everything. I want to follow him 100%. This is what you're following. Hasn't been great. But I'm betting it every time. I'm putting when I lose, I lose.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something where it's just oh, this is what I think. But yeah, I love to be transparent. I always have been. And yeah, college football this year is going to be fascinating. I think it's a wide open season. And it's one where there's so many questions at quarterback. I don't know how it's going to go. And I think that's going to be fun. There's a lot of teams that can bubble up. And as we talked about yesterday, me and you, there's a lot of teams that can bubble down. There's those teams like Auburn, LSU, and Arizona State. You go to the Big Ten, you have a Michigan who has a lot of talent. But what about the quarterback?
The quarterback situation was a Chinese fire drill, right?
And they just announced the guy that's from San Diego State who's going to be the quarterback, which I was surprised by. And then you even have you have Ohio State, who's starting a new quarterback, obviously Julian Sayin, they haven't announced it yet, but actually they may have. What are they going to look like? And then you have other teams, Georgia, what's Gunnar Stockton going to look like? Florida's a team that I think if DJ Lagway plays,
if he's healthy, yeah,
and the defense takes that step forward, I think they could really, really be good. Auburn's the ultimate question. I think Alabama's a team it's all on Ty Simpson, but if Ty Simpson is even above serviceable, above average, I think that they're a college playoff team. LSU, what's the defense look like? Can the offensive line answer those questions? If they can, I think they're a team that can win a national championship. But there's so many questions, and I know that's the case for most college football seasons.
That's this transfer portal thing.
Yeah, and it feels like
nobody has the 5-star backups anymore because they're all transferring.
And if you look at the top 15, 20 of the AP poll, it's all right, Texas, but Arch, I believe in.
I do too. And the other thing is, I like the fact he's been in the program 2.5 years, and so he knows that system.
He knows the system, and I think I rank them number one as well. But there's a question there. Drew Aller, his last time out, number 2 Penn State, last time out, he didn't for Penn State against Notre Dame in the college football playoff semifinal. Did not complete a pass to a wide receiver in that game against Notre Dame. That's a huge question. What's that offense going to look like? And you could go down the list, the Alabamas, the Ohio State. We know these teams are going to be good, but how good are they going to be? I think Texas has the chance to be that creme de la.
Creme de la creme, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. But we'll see. But my favorite team this year, I have Texas power rated first. But there's that huge bunch. I think Alabama has that ceiling that's really high.
It's almost like the Bama fatigue's got people off them too. You know what I mean? And Kalen DeBoer, his skill set coaching, he coaches up pro quarterbacks. It was Milroe didn't fit with him. Milroe wasn't a good pocket passer, and that's what DeBoer knows. And Simpson may fit that scheme more.
Yeah, and they brought back
Ryan Grubb. And they got Ryan Grubb's back.
Yeah, which is huge.
Yeah.
The Seahawks, he went to Seahawks last year for OC, didn't work. Now he's back, and I think that will help a lot. And I think Ty Simpson is a much better quarterback for their system than Jalen Milroe.
Jim Knowles being at Penn State, big. Ohio State, that's my biggest question on Ohio State. Going from Knowles to Matt Patricia is
also
it's a big fall.
Knowles to Matt Patricia and Chip Kelly to Harsin.
Yeah.
Not Harsin. What's his name? Hartline.
Yeah.
For OC.
Where'd Chip Kelly go?
Chip Kelly's at Raiders, right?
Oh, yeah, Raiders.
OC.
Yeah.
So they're replacing both, and they're replacing what, like 25 NFL players? Obviously, they're Ohio State. They're gonna reload.
No, I like Texas in that game.
Yeah,
I like a lot.
One.
+3. I think they're gonna win.
We were talking about that Baylor Auburn game, week 1. Huge spot for Auburn, huge spot for Baylor. Dave Aranda needs to turn around that defense after last year's poor performance, but they bring back so much, specifically on offense.
A lot of speed too.
Sawyer Robertson is unbelievable, and it's going to be interesting to see Jackson Arnold. And I think Oklahoma, if John Mateer hits, that defense is going to be loaded. Brent Venables finally has a defense that's going to be, even last year, the defense.
Oh, dude, it was great.
Good.
What they did to Milroe was crazy.
And I think, there's so many questions. There's so many teams that can go from 6-6 to 10-2, 11-1, in my opinion, and that's going to be fun.
Yeah, SEC. This NIL era in SEC, everybody just beating each other.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fun. Out of the SEC sleeper, who, like you said, Florida, you said Auburn. Like, who do you like? Non-top teams. Who do you like? Oklahoma.
I really, I like A&M.
If Reed can,
is Oklahoma considered a sleeper?
Yeah. I mean, they won they won 6 games last year.
Yeah, I would say Oklahoma, but I like A&M too. I think they have the talent to be really, really good. It really depends on
if Reed can pass.
But I think he's not awful.
He can run.
And they brought in Concepcion from the NC State.
Who's awesome.
Awesome. And then they have that running back, Levante Moss, I think.
Yeah.
He's awesome. So I think this team is
Elko's a good coach, too.
And Elko's a good coach. I think I really like that team. I'm trying to think of the other.
The Auburn thing's Tennessee's fault. Like the Tennessee thing, and I got to give him credit because Heupel's an awesome coach. But ever since Alex Golesh went to South Florida, that offense hadn't been the same.
I'm not a big fan of Aguilar.
Yeah, and I don't think their OC's good. And, I know they had a good defense last year, and Dylan Sampson ran the ball well, but their passing game sucked.
I think South Carolina could be a team that could beat anybody, but could go 7-5.
They're also South Carolina and Ole Miss were always similar historically. Great underdogs, bad favorites of expectations.
Yeah. Now, I love Lenore's.
I do too. It's just they lost so much off their defense.
Who's that wide receiver who's the fastest guy?
Yeah. Oh, I know who you're talking about. He's 6'2". Harbor? Yeah.
He's awesome. They have a lot of that talent, but they lost a lot on defense. I know they bring back Dylan Stewart, but they lost if you look at
that's the safety.
Yep.
The Wake Forest dude that torched the SEC pass rusher.
Yep. They lost a lot, and I think Dylan Stewart will be amazing, but they have a lot to replace. But they're really talented, man. So they're a team that you look at the final record and you could be like, oh, it's only 7-5, but it's truly they're a top 20 team. I'm thinking about a guy I really like, and I've always really liked. He needs to stop fumbling the ball, but Taylon Green is one of my favorite.
Oh, he's excellent. Yeah, it's just their defense.
I know.
I mean, they just couldn't stop. But
they couldn't stop a nosebleed, except for Tennessee. That was the only team that could stop.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to say because it's
that's how that passing game was horrible for Tennessee.
It made no sense.
I mean, it was atrocious.
Nico over at UCLA is a fascinating development. I wonder how he's going to do. And then. So, yeah, I would say Oklahoma, a team's down on Vanderbilt. I think it's going to be tough to repeat.
I do too.
And then I'm going through in my mind. I think you guys, I'm a big fan of Austin Simmons, and it's here's the thing about Austin Simmons is his ceiling's probably what Jackson Dart was. And I know you told me yesterday he's a different kind of quarterback, which I agree with. But
he's a better pure passer. But the fact that he hadn't started any games and Dart was a 4-year starter.
But I think you guys reloaded, and the defense will be the biggest question, though, because you guys – I mean,
you lost 5 NFL draft picks.
And you guys were so good on defense. But if they're a top 25 defense and then maybe Simmons really hits, I think there's a chance they're right back in that discussion where it's maybe the Florida game goes game goes your way and you make the play.
The Ole Miss thing really – I mean, you got to think week 2 at Kentucky better be a blood revenge game after what happened last year. Arkansas at home in a night game week 3, you got to feel good about it. Tricky one against Tulane week 4. Retzloff there. John Summerall. Tulane's they fight as an underdog. I mean, they almost beat Oklahoma. They almost beat K-State.
Summerall is one of the budding coaches. I mean, it's tough to even say he's budding. He's one of the best coaches in America.
Yeah, he turned down North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then getting them Evan Retzloff, I think, is great.
Yeah, I was concerned about Tulane.
Their quarterback
situation, but then they got Retzloff, and I was like, this.
And you can get him, man. I mean, he's got so much experience. I think him just getting fall camp's enough.
Yeah.
But that one's tricky. The LSU game, September 27th, that's the one there because that game's in Oxford. Ole Miss has a shot with it being in Oxford. If it was at Baton Rouge, I don't think they would. But if Ole Miss somehow pulls that one off, then all of a sudden the expectations change a lot. That LSU game.
That LSU game is going to be awesome, and LSU Ole Miss is always.
Oh yeah, dude,
I mean,
it's the most underrated. Look, I always fight. Brandon gets mad at it because the Egg Bowl is obviously the Mississippi rivalry, but the Ole Miss LSU. I mean, dude, these Ole Miss LSU games. The last 2 years, literally 2 of the best 5 games in college football the last 2 years.
And there's something about that color matchup. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
it's just the school matchup too. It's just the.
And no, it's awesome. It's awesome, and I can't wait. That's a phenomenal game.
But I think that's going to determine a lot for the Rebels because they lose that game, then you got at Georgia, at Oklahoma back to back in mid-October, and I mean you're hoping to go 1-1 in those two. That's the fact that
it's at both of them.
Yeah, and the fact that Oklahoma's after Georgia and you're beat up after that Georgia game, that second road game. That's the old thing, like the week after playing Alabama and Saban. Yeah. It's like, that's tough.
Now, Georgia's a squad that they're like, Kirby's going to have a top 5 defense.
Why did they not fire Mike Bobo, though? How did Bobo keep his job?
I know. So, and here's the thing.
Horrible,
they have the talent. And Zachariah Branch, they bring in, who's like one of the most dynamic wide receivers in the country. They have the running backs. But like, I'm not the biggest gunner guy, but before Stetson won a national championship, I would have sat here and been like, I'm not the biggest Stetson guy.
Yeah, but I was a Todd Monken guy, and he was a great OC, and look what he's done for the Ravens.
No, I know.
And the Monken to Bobo thing is where I have.
I think Georgia is like they're going to be a tough out for everybody, but
their schedule's pretty manageable too.
Like I think they'll make the playoff, but it's going to like they remind me of they'll be good. It's just Stockton. We really have to see. I think they're a team that if they had a better quarterback, they'd be right up there with Texas, in my opinion.
I want to ask you your
Bobo. You're right, though.
Yeah, no, I can't believe he's like an old Georgia quarter. You know, they don't want to fire him because he's an old legacy there. I want to ask you about the Auburn thing, and then I got like 2 more questions, and then I'll ask UFC and we get out of here. The Auburn thing is fascinating because I don't know what to think of it. I literally don't know because Jackson Arnold had no offensive line, and his top 5 receivers were out at Oklahoma last year. So, like, yeah, he stunk, but he had no one that could block and no one to throw to. So, like, I don't know if you put that on him or you put that on the personnel, and they had a tough schedule. So now he's at Auburn. I mean, they got Singleton from Georgia Tech. That freshman they had last year was awesome. They got the talent. So can he turn it around? Because if he does, they could be really good.
I'm a big Jackson guy, a believer, but I think there's a mental aspect there that I was a little bit disappointed in him. But I think if he gains that confidence back, he could be really something. But they have so many weapons. And they have that guy on the edge. What's his name, man? On defense, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. Hendrick Ellis.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's his name. I think they have the guys to be really, really good, but it could all fall apart and they go 5-7 again.
Yeah, well, year 3 under Freeze, you got to think this has got to be what
this has to be.
Yeah. I mean, I get like he inherited a mess. The whole Harsin thing. It was. I get that he gets some grace after what happened, but this is it. Year 3. I'm not saying you got to go 10-2, but you need to go 8-4 here and show something.
This needs to be a huge step forward.
Yeah, this is a big one there.
And they spent a lot of money. Like Singleton definitely.
He was like $1 million. He was like 1.5 million.
Yeah, 100%. Singleton's really good, man.
Yeah, he is. All right, Big 12. You mentioned you like is Baylor. You're picking that because the Big 12. You could make an argument for 7 teams.
I know you could really make an argument all the way down. Utah's a team that like how's Devin Dampierre?
Yeah. Can he stay healthy?
And then, Tech's a team that if can Morton be the guy?
Because the rest of the roster, they spent God knows how much money.
Dude, that defensive line is like disgusting. The guys they have on that defensive line, and then they brought in that Stanford linebacker after they fired the Sacramento State coach.
Yeah, Troy Taylor.
Yeah. They brought him in. I think.
It's one of the best defense Tech's had. They haven't had any though.
If Morton can figure it out, protect the ball, be above average, kind of like Ty Simpson, I think they can do it. But like the Big 12's the land of like these teams just eat their own. They're Tech's 9-1, and then they go into like Cincinnati and like lose.
Yeah.
Or like an Arizona State is a team that's definitely going to be up there. I think it's like Arizona State, Texas Tech, Utah,
Baylor, K-State. I think Iowa State's gonna fall off a little bit.
Iowa State, but they're just like a classic like Matt Campbell just makes guys out of nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And now Kansas State is Avery Johnson. I was a big believer in him, but he was kind of a
like an athlete. Just the passing was.
So there's a lot of guys, a lot of teams. Baylor's it's all on that defense. Can the defense be top 40 or top 50? Because last year they were like bottom 30. If they can be top 50, I think they have a chance to make a run.
No, I do too. And then
Sawyer, and then I forget their wide receiver's name, but they have a wide receiver on that team that's disgusting. Forget his name, but Baylor's a great. Yeah, it's tough to make a call. I guess I'm a believer in talent, and a tough defense keeps you in games. And Tech's a brutal place to play. Brutal place.
That wind's crazy.
So I think Tech really pulls through this year.
All right. And then ACC-wise, a lot of debate on – we were talking about off-air about the Miami Hurricanes because there's so much to unpack there.
I think – yeah.
You like Carson Beck more
and
than
then I really like Clemson. I think this is a team that's just – I'll be honest, if Dabo doesn't get it this year, man, like I don't know when he's getting it again. Obviously, he can rebuild and all of that, but this is the year for Clemson. And – I think Cade unlocked a level of himself in that Texas game.
He did.
That will pay dividends. They have the talent on wide receiver finally.
Yeah, two of the best defensive players in the country.
And then the Duke defenders are unbelievable. Woods. I think Clemson's right up there with the likes of Texas, and I think we could even see like a Texas-Clemson final. And we know Dabo's a good coach.
No doubt. It just took a while to adapt to NIL.
Yeah, and I think I think this is the time, and I think Cade coming back's huge, and I think and finally, I mean, this is year 3 with what's his name who came over from TCU, but he finally
Riley's brother.
Yeah, Riley's brother. But they finally unlocked that, and I think they're going to be pretty damn good, man. The second team's the big question: is it Clemson? Is it Georgia Tech?
Yeah, Miami's like draft.
Sorry,
we always fire on DraftKings. Miami's easily the second odds at like 380. I just don't know the Miami thing. Their defense was so bad last year. They got a new DC and they spent money in IL, so you could see them flip it.
I can't believe how bad the defense was last year because it
blew me. I couldn't believe it either.
If you look at the talent it had, it was like, how is this team that bad?
They were always out of place. They were slow.
Virginia Tech was making them look like they were like Tua's Alabama team.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on here?
No.
Virginia Tech's another team. It's like, could they turn it? Like, they kind of turned it around.
Portal hit them hard, though. Yeah. They didn't keep guys. LSU stole their best nose tackle in corner.
And they stole a guard from them, too.
Yeah, LSU hammered them in the portal.
So, Texas team, like, I mean, the ACC's kind of wide open outside of Clemson.
The Georgia Tech thing's interesting.
But Duke's interesting, too. They're spending a decent amount of money.
They spent $4 million on Mintzy. That's crazy.
And I think Mintzy's good, but I don't know if he's that good.
I don't think so. Yeah, look, my read on him, yeah, he was good for a freshman, but they had an elite running game, and they had a really good defense, and they made it successful.
And Mintzy made some bad decisions.
I think big jump from Mintzy to Retzlaff. I think Tulane came away in that deal like as good as you could hope for.
Yeah, Retzlaff. Yeah, that would be an interesting. Yeah, it all depends on Retzlaff like adjusting, but yeah, I agree. I think I rate both of them the same to an extent.
Yeah,
and they probably paid Retzlaff like
way less. No. Oh yeah, probably yeah.
Just because of Retzlaff's
and situation.
Yeah.
Any G5 teams other than Tulane you're watching this year?
I think James Madison has a chance to be really damn good. I think Boise State is the team I'll keep an eye on because, like, obviously Gentie's gone. They replace him. They'll be fine. They'll probably be the best team in the Mountain West. I think Fresno State's a team that with Kurt Warner's kid that could be decent. I'm still kind of digging deep on the G5 aspect these teams. But those are the teams I've been looking at. JMU, I think, could be
the Southern Miss thing's fascinating because they got half of Marshall's team that won the Sun Belt last year and a new coach. And like this new transfer portal era, you can like flip it in a year.
Yeah.
And like they're like an 11-point home underdog. It's Mississippi State week 1, and I know how Southern Miss is because I've been around Mississippi. Man, when they play Ole Miss or State, it's a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Now they got them on their home field.
It's on the home field.
I know. That's a tricky one.
If I was a so State's a very fascinating team to me because I think Shapen was honestly turning out to be pretty damn good for them, and then he got hurt. And they brought in this guy from, what was it, South Alabama?
Fuff Botwell.
Oh, my God. He is a beast.
Yeah.
And I think he's built well for the SEC. But also it's defense, and it's always
Their
good.
D-line suck. And when you think of Mississippi State teams, they've had the D-line thing out of there. Chris Jones, Fletcher Cox, Montez Sweat. I mean, they've always, it was always like Ole Miss receivers and State D-linemen. And then seeing State have a crappy D-line, it's weird.
I think it's with the new coach. It's kind of like they want to win shootouts, which is fun to an extent, but it's kind of like if the offense doesn't work, which there was a lot of times last year it couldn't get going, and especially after Shapen got hurt. But I think Shapen now, but they also lost that receiver who's pretty damn good.
No, and they're in a tough spot. All right, UFC, because we're on UFC this week. What fights we got Moody here too.
What's up, Moody?
What's up, brother? I'll hop in here for the UFC. I just wanted to say, Jack Mack, without question, you are my favorite Barstool personality. I've told you
that's very
a number of times. It's Jack Mack up here. It's everybody else down here.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say, Moody? What are you trying to say? I'm just messing with you. Dude, I'm totally messing with you. We're in the trench. We've been in the trenches 10 years.
I don't listen. I don't listen to many people. I don't take their analysis into consideration at all. You're one person that I will actually take their analysis into consideration, and I love unpacking with Jack Mack. So shout out to you, brother. You're doing a hell of a job.
Thank you, bro. This weekend's gonna be fun in the UFC for fans that are watching right now, either live or are watching back. It's a fascinating card specifically because of the main event. Because the main event is probably, and I don't even say probably, as of now, the biggest fight of the year in the UFC. Khamzat's this guy that people have been waiting to be in a championship title fight. He's been the scariest guy. He retired because he had COVID, but then he came back, and there's been questions about him. He wasn't allowed in America for a long time, but he's here fighting in Chicago, and he's going up against Dricus du Plessis, who is one of one. He's kind of like Brett Favre, where he's unorthodox. He has great striking. He has a great ground game. He has good wrestling. He can submit you, but he doesn't look like he knows what he's doing, but he does. And he has a process to everything that he does. And it's South Africa. He's from South Africa. Khamzat's from Chechnya. And then he went to Sweden. Now he's from the UAE. Fascinating fight. And then there's an American on the card in the co-main, Aaron Pico, who is this wrestling phenom. Went to MMA. Didn't really go well, but he figured it out. Now he's over to the UFC for the first time, fighting Lerone Murphy. And this weekend, from a betting perspective, I really like Aaron Pico. He's probably my favorite play on the card. I like him to potentially get a finish. And then I can't get over passing on DDP. I really think he survives the early onslaught of Khamzat and can push him late, take him in the deep waters, and really take over in round 3, round 4, round 5, maybe get a finish. He's plus 210 on DraftKings right now. Aaron Pico's a guy I really like. And then there's some other fights on the card as well. Moody, how do you think about the co-main and the main event? How do you see those two going?
Well, yeah, let me start with the main event. I took Khamzat to be the champion at the end of the year on DraftKings at plus 350 back in January.
Oh, that's
so
I'm
all over Khamzat. I'm not going anywhere. I've been on Khamzat since the second he came up. This guy is a stud. I mean, everything that he does, he is so aggressive. He gets after your ass. The thing about this fight that is concerning for me is the gas tank for Khamzat. Mm-hmm. Either Khamzat finishes it early or it goes deep. And every single round that the fight goes on, DDP gets stronger and his odds of winning the fight go up. So for me, it's either maybe Khamzat ends it in the first or DDP wins it late. Whether or not DDP can put away Khamzat, I'm not sure. But I do think that if you're looking for a finish, you're going with Khamzat early. You're not taking a late Khamzat finish. It's either first or second round, he gets it done. The thing about DDP, he's so unorthodox. You talked about his striking, his wrestling. He does everything at a high level, but he does it so unorthodox that he's just so damn difficult to deal with. Yeah. So I don't know. I have Khamzat winning the fight. He's one of my favorite guys. This is probably my favorite fight of the year. I mean, I don't know how it couldn't be. He's exciting to watch.
There's so many.
And so is DDP.
There's so many ways this fight can go. It's they're two megastar superstars. The thing about, and I agree with the cardio. We've seen a lot of guys that we've thought had bad cardio and they go into a 5-round fight and then they look fine. But I don't know. Also we have to consider Khamzat. He has been in America for about a month, but this is not his home turf. He's not in the Middle East. All of the fights recently have been Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia, and I think that's also another. He's not cutting weight at home. I think it also there maybe is like some things that you get over in the Middle East that you don't get here. Maybe commissions look the other way. Not to speculate too much, but that's also something that's going to be difficult for him. I think DDP is just, I really think if this gets out of the first round, it's a 50-50 fight. And that's why I look at that plus 210. How Khamzat looked in the third round and even late second round against Usman was not impressive to me. And I think DDP, you have to kill him 15 times, man. Now, if he gets a choke early,
yep,
that happens. But if DDP finds ways, he snatches victory out of the jaws of defeat, like a fighter we've never seen. And he's so fascinating to watch. It's going to be phenomenal. I can't wait for it. That first, when they walk out and they look at each other and then the bell rings and they say fighters fight. It's going to be, that first minute's going to be just like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? It's going to be amazing. And I can't wait to see. And I'm not too confident in DDP, but I do like him as a bet at plus 210. I think I'm going to wait because I think it's going to keep going up, man.
Yeah, I think there's a chance it keeps going up as well. Look, Khamzat's the very public play here. Everybody has been seeing him. He's been so hyped up since he came into the UFC because he gets quick finishes, right? Everybody loves a quick finish, and he finishes guys. He's only had, one fight, 2 fights that went the distance. Outside of that, he gets finishes, and that makes people a fan favorite. Khamzat is definitely that dude. And look, one of the things that is not talked about enough because we know how good his wrestling is, Khamzat's striking is still scary. So I'm actually really curious to see how these dudes look in the stand-up game against one another. You have the very unorthodox rhythm of DDP versus Khamzat, who's got legitimate power and the threat of a takedown at any moment, which opens up his striking a little bit more. So it's a fascinating fight, one of my favorite fights of the year, without question. And to be honest with you, Jack Mack, I don't know how you feel about it. I'm not super intrigued about the rest of this card. I mean, this is a main event heavy card. The co-main's fine. Seeing Protest fight. The one fight I'm intrigued by is Michael Venom Page, just because he's so exciting. He's so slick. He makes it look so damn fun out there. I don't know that Cannonier is going to have an answer for MVP. We haven't really seen anybody have an answer for MVP outside of
Ian Gary.
White boy from Ian Gary. And so outside of Ian Gary, I mean, it's just been Michael Venom Page just being too slick for everyone. What do you think about that fight?
I think MVP's just going to be too quick for Cannonier. If this was a 5-round fight, I think I'd be more intrigued by Cannonier, but I think MVP is going to be too fast. It's a big cage. He'll be able to defend the takedowns. Now, if Cannonier does get the wrestling going, but he doesn't like doing that. Also, Cannonier's 41, MVP's 38, but Cannonier's been in some wars, man, and I think that's going to catch up to him. The other fights I think they're not amazing, but I think they're decent enough. I know what you're saying. It's not like a completely stacked card, but I think the fights have the ability to be very exciting. I think Protest Jeff Neal can be a war. I think MVP could find a really great finish. I think Kai Asakura can get a great finish and really have a great pay-per-view card and kind of launch these guys to the next step in their careers. And before that, there's some really good fights too. The Chase Hooper fight I think is going to be awesome.
Chase Hooper pulling guard, baby.
Yep, and against Anthony Hernandez, who used to have a lot of hype, man. He was the chosen one, Alexander the Great. But this card, you're right. Is it the most stacked pay-per-view card ever? No. But I think there's a chance a lot of these fights are pretty good matchups.
Yeah, I want to mention this too because Moody. I want to mention the AKA thing. So Moody does play-by-play for American Combat Alliance, which has been a feeder to UFC. Who all came out of UFC? You do it with Matt Schnell, but they've sent a bunch of people to.
Yeah, Matt Schnell's one of my best friends. We've been good friends since high school. We do the fights together. We've sent
Andrew Lee.
Schnell came through there. Yeah, Schnell came through there with us. We had the kid that keeps getting arrested. Oh God, what's his name? The Florida kid that keeps getting arrested.
Oh, Cedric Dumas?
Yes, Cedricus Dumas.
Oh, he's unbelievable. That guy's unreal.
Dude, he's insane. I couldn't think of his first name for a second. Look, I watched him finish a fight one time with leg kicks. He's got vicious leg kicks, but he can't keep his head together. He's an absolute basket.
He's been arrested like 15
times.
I
wish personally that he would move away from Florida and go train somewhere else because I think he's got legitimate talent. But it's just Carly Judy's is the girl that's come up.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring her up. Did she come
Yeah,
through you guys? I think she has a chance to be really damn good, man. She is
so good.
her boxing, her striking is legit good. Like for a female, like she had some tough and I think she took losses in the UFC, and sometimes that's good because you get to see how they respond, and she's responded in a great way and got some victories after it. She's a girl I'm very interested to keep an eye on. I always forget that she's from Louisiana. She's from Baton Rouge, right?
Yeah, she's from down that way. She's from Lafayette. She's from the Lafayette area.
Lafayette pipeline's crazy with Cormier and
Poirier. Anybody else from there?
We've had some of the guys that made it in didn't last very long. A lot of them have now gone to BKFC. You know, we don't have. I mean, obviously, like Schnell is a big name and whatnot.
Yeah.
But outside of that, our guys kind of come in, and a couple of them haven't had their best showings. But you know, look, we got a couple guys that may make their way up sooner rather than later. And that's the way it is, right? You have all of these organizations like us around the country. They send 3 or 4 guys up. Only one of those dudes is usually going to end up being a stud. And then the rest of the UFC comes from overseas somewhere. So it's like everybody, you're hoping that you have 1 or 2 legitimate studs come through your organization that can go help your organization make a name for itself. And that's kind of where we're at right now. But we got a banger scheduled this weekend at the Golden Nugget down in Lake Charles. So hopefully that'll go well. And
that's awesome.
My boy Matt Schnell, he righted the ship the last time out. It's been really difficult to see him take some losses.
I know it's tough. I mean,
you were at that fight though. That one fight that he
against Sue Mutajari or
that crazy one where he got beat up to hell and came back and won.
Matt Schnell. I mean, I'll be honest, bro. If Matt Schnell had a chin of steel, he'd be one of the best fighters in the UFC. Like I'm dead serious. Like he is, and it's tough to see, and especially, I mean, you're best friends with him. Like a lot of the losses are just tough because it's like, damn, like, he's the guy that you just look at and you're like, he has the striking, he has the ground game, but sometimes his chin just fails him. But he's a tough guy, and he's always a great fight to watch. When I see a Matt Schnell fight, I'm like, this is going to be a banger. Someone's going to die. But I mean, if he was my best friend, I wouldn't like that because it's like I want my guy to be healthy.
No, it's tough. It's tough when you're watching your buddy out. And look, sometimes he goes to war and he comes out on top. And like that one fight against Sumadarji, I mean, just like, brother, I came out of that thinking like that's my boy. That's an absolute dog. You know what I mean? And so that was fun. But it is tough when you're watching one of your friends take L's out there and take some shots. But hopefully he bounces back here soon because
we gotta get Jack Mack.
He beat Jimmy Flick. Does he have another fight lined up?
He's in the he has one. He talked to me the other day. He has one in the
pipeline. All right, so he's gonna fight. I'll be interested to see who he's got. Like I mean, he retired, but he did it.
He overreacted in the moment, essentially.
Yeah, that happens. That happens
for sure.
We gotta get
look. It was a tough spot for him because he was up to like number 5 at one point in that division, and that's a really talented division. A lot of skillful guys in that division. I mean, there's some legitimately good fighters there, and then he just got knocked down the peg. I think he was feeling bad about it, understandably so. And now he's going to try and work his way back up and make one more run at it. We'll see what happens.
But we got to get Jack Mack down there on the call with you and Schnell for one of these fight cards sometime. That would be fun.
I got to get down there. That sounds awesome. I didn't even realize you were on the call.
Yeah, but it's him and Schnell that do it. Yeah, so it would be all three. That would be fun.
No, I got to get down. I mean, Cedric Dumas may end up back on a card.
He either ends up back with us or in jail. Those are one of the 2 possibilities.
Dumas is awesome.
We were on. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Mintzy.
No, go ahead. Listen.
Sorry.
I was going to say we were on UFC Fight Pass for a while. We may be moving over to the Zone. We're just kind of in the talks about what we're doing next. But we've been on UFC Fight Pass for a little while, but probably about to make a jump over. So we'd love to have you at some point. We do have some bangers. If you want to come down and hang out.
They sell out. Y'all sell out. I mean, they sell out like every card.
Oh, yeah. No, regional MMA is fucking awesome, bro. It's where a lot of these guys come from. Almost all of them. I mean, obviously, as you said, there's guys overseas, but there's there's a lot of talent in these, and it's awesome to see these guys. And then maybe you see a guy who's young, and then it's like, oh man, I remember when I watched him next to Matt Schnell. But Schnell's awesome, and I hope he gets that next fight, and we'll be cheering for him. I always cheer for him, but sometimes, I mean, He's fought some pretty tough opponents, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I if I had Matt Schnell in front of me, I'd be like, bro, you should be damn proud of yourself. You've won like, what, 8 to 10 fights in the fucking UFC? Are you kidding? Like, you know how hard it is to win a fight in the UFC? Like, I think that's the number one thing fans in the MMA world don't understand and don't respect. Winning fights in the UFC is really fucking hard. And if you win a bunch, like, I know not everyone's going to be a top 5 guy. I know Matt wants to be it, but I meant like MMA fans as a whole. It's like, oh, this guy lost to this guy. He stinks. He doesn't stink. It like sometimes guys lose and like, or and other times they win. And if you have wins in the UFC, top promotion in the world, you're one of the baddest motherfuckers alive.
Yeah, we've had some serious heart-to-hearts after some of his losses, too. After we'll do one of our cards, and he'll be coming off a loss a couple weeks earlier, and it gets to him, as it would any fighter, man. And
I get it. I get it.
Best. Yeah, you just want to be the best.
I can only imagine.
Tried to tell him.
It's nice to hear that these guys care. It's like it's really nice, and it's a brutal thing. You go into a cage alone. You're alone, and then you got to feed your fucking family.
And he's got 2 daughters, right?
Yeah, he's got a couple kids now, and look, this is the best sport in the world, in my personal opinion. Mixed martial arts is the best sport in the world because you don't have teammates. Nobody's coming to save you unless it's the referee. It's will versus will, skill versus skill, grit versus grit. I mean, it truly is the epitome of competition. You can't get more competitive than a fight against another man. Yep. And I just, in my opinion, it has become the best sport. Obviously, I'm a huge baseball fan. I love the NFL. But there's nothing I want to see more than a legitimate fight, especially at the highest level with 2 of the most skilled dudes in the world. It's the best. I don't think anything can touch it. And I'm telling you, Saturday night, we've got one of those on hand for Kamzat and DDP.
Yeah, no,
Cannot wait to see it. Cannot wait.
It's worth the price of admission. I can't wait to watch.
I got a couple on Twitter. I asked for a few questions for Jack. We got a little quick Ask Jack.
Yeah.
From Annika, Barstool employee. How does he feel about his nickname, DM Demon?
DM Demon, that's insane. I didn't realize that was my nickname. I would love to know who that was about. I'm very nice in the DMs, so like I would love to know who told her that.
She had 30 likes on that question. Best altcoin play the cycle. No comment.
No, I mean I'm the biggest ETH guy out there, and then obviously I'm Bitcoin all the way. But like ETH, like I was the biggest ETH guy at 1,600. Now it's like 4,800. I still think there's a lot of upside there, but
what is it? Which one is it?
Ethereum. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. Okay, all right. How come you refuse to tap in and check in with Nick Fuentes when you stop?
Oh fuck! I forgot that Nick Fuentes is in
Chicago.
In Chicago, I put out a tweet that said like I have to check in with someone. I should have checked in with Nick Fuentes, but no, Nick Fuentes is he's a wild card, as they say.
He's blowing up right now.
Yeah, he's
he's taking my little mistake and run with it for sure.
What?
Just see how he says anything.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, I on the record, Nick Fuentes says a lot of words that I would not say, and I condemn those words being used.
As do I.
Of course.
Okay, who would win in a fight, 100 Harry Sisslins or one UFC fighter?
Oh shit, that's an unreal question. Who's the fighter? If it's
any
DDP,
of them, to be honest,
I think DDP fights. I think DDP can beat all of them.
All right, you're. I don't know who this is, but they're saying somebody asked you about your resemblance to Nick O'Neill.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, let's see. Okay,
I'm gonna look that up.
Okay, that's my Ask Jack back. Shout out
that's fucked. He's the guy that has like that. That's who said that. Who said that?
Let's see on Twitter. Jim Bob Cruder.
Nah, that's fucked. Yeah, I hope I don't look too much like him, but he's shout out Nick O'Neill. Seems like a good guy.
All right. Well, shout out Dude Wipes.
Go ahead. One more question from me. I was just gonna ask, do you have any like just one prop that you really like this weekend, Jack, that I should jump on?
One prop. You know what? I would love a prop. I don't think DK would allow it to be made, but I would love a prop that's DDP loses 10-8 in the first round and then wins. But I really like Jessica Andrade plus 130, and then I think under 2.5, and Edson Barboza Drakkar close could be something to look at, and then. Kareem Silva by submission. Is that up yet? No, it's not up on. That's the first fight of the night. And then trying to look. I mean, if you want to get crazy, no. Mikhail Jacek by KO round 1.
Okay.
What are the odds on
I
that?
see that.
I'm about to tell you. Plus 200.
Plus 200. Moody, by the way, while you're at Golden Nugget, we have a DraftKings Sportsbook down there. Take some picks and play some bets. If you can get any pictures and stuff, we'd appreciate it because it's supposed to be awesome.
Yeah, well, I'll jump in and try and throw something down there. I've already got the Kamzat 3.5 to 1 to be champion at the end of the year. And at the pace he fights at, if he wins this fight, he's not going to fight again this year. So I pretty much feel like I have Kamzat at 3.5 to 1 on this fight. I'll probably take Kamzat first round submission just in case it comes to fruition. And then I'm thinking maybe Michael Venom Page knockout. I don't know. I'm gonna toy around with that one, but definitely I'm gonna take MVP as part of a parlay.
Cannonier's
I love
so
MVP.
tough, but he could, yeah, like
So
MVP. I'm trying to. I mean, I mean, if you really want to get crazy, I think. I know you don't like it, but I think like DDP round 3, round 4, round 5. That's 18 to 1, 20 to 1, 25 to 1. I think is something that could be a play. Obviously, he has to get out of the first 2 rounds, but I think he could. You're kind of betting on Hamzat's cardio
hedge.
failing him.
No, that's a great hedge for your plus 350.
Yep.
That 18, 20, and 25 to 1.
Yeah, I think the plus 350 is like, I mean, if it was Hamzat plus 350, it'd be my bet of the century. So I think it's
For sure.
You're in a great spot. That's a great play, and I think you're in a great spot. But I really like that. And then what's Aaron Pico by KO?
Pico's minus
Plus
175 and
plus 330. Aaron Pico KO. I think you could find it, but yeah, it's going to be a great card. And I'll put out on my plays on Twitter. Kai's Kerr by KO could be something.
So you think he bounces back? Obviously, tough first fight
I
for
think
him,
he
but
does. I think
he's
he does.
talented.
I think.
Yeah.
The only thing is Tim Elliott could just spam the takedowns, but I think Tim Elliott's a guy that he kind of gets extended late. He kind of looks tough. And that's no disrespect to him, but but I think Kai's he has some power in those hands, and I think it's I'm here now, and I may have lost to the best guy in my division, one of the best guys in the UFC, but I'm an issue to deal with.
Yeah, I agree with you right there. All right, boys, I'm signing off.
Shout out Dude Wipe to Stella Blue. Shout out Jack Mack, who I told him 15 minutes, and he just gave us like almost an hour. So you're the man.
Oh, no. Shout out Mintzy. Shout out everybody in the chat. Shout out all the commenters, and shout out Mintzy. And I'll love to be back when I come back to Chicago next time.
Yeah. Tune into Moot Can't Sleep. Live reactions to the Barstool Beach House stuff. I'm going to pop on there here in a minute. But tune into that, and y'all take it easy. Have a day. I'll see y'all. Well, no shows next week is Camp Barstool, so see y'all in a while.